Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream where we are making a tower defense game for Android platform. Last time we added a new tile type, a wall that blocks the monster's movement, and added a system for a reward selection for the player. It's have a temporary UI, I would say, where you can select one of the options. We currently have two of those, a tower and a wall. So when I pick one of the options, I can place a tower or a wall. And also we made it into a multiple rewards. When we select the wall, we can actually place 3 of them. So that's where we left off last time. And now I would like to adjust one thing and maybe add some more features. I wanted to slightly adjust the targeting system. For the towers, when there's a monster incoming and the tower is ready to fire, it looks for the closest one and locks or just targets this one for the current attack. But once there are more, it's not a great example, but once there are more of them, and the current one is still in range but not the closest one, the target shifts for the tower. And I think it's better if the tower acquires a target and it's still a valid target, meaning it's still in range, should keep attacking this one to focus fire on that monster and not just switch targets at will and keep the closest only. So this could also become a feature in the future where you can like set behaviors for each tower, like target the closest, target the strongest and stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna adjust this. So I want to prioritize the already set target if it's possible. Well, now to remember where that is done. So the targeting is done here in the assign targets method. So if the tower is on cooldown, meaning it's not ready to fire yet, we ignore that, that's all right. And then we just look for the closest. But before that, I would like to check if the current tower's target is still at range. But now I remember, I think I'm clearing the target on every frame, right? Yes. So this might be a problem. Do I need to do that? What was the reasoning? I think the tower kept shooting even if the monster died, right? Or something like that. That's the reason we are clearing the target. So target fired. Let me try a few things. And we'll see how it goes. Let's say if the target is dead. Let's set it to now. Otherwise, keep it set. And then back here in the assign targets. It's gonna get the closest. But first I would like to check the position of the current targeted monster. So we're checking this there, I guess. And that's getting the distance to a monster. And we're doing this for every monster. And finally, we're just cross-checking with the range. Okay. So let me first do a validation of the already acquired target. Something like if distance to this, but oh, and we are receiving only a position of the tower, right? So let me maybe, can we change that into a tower? Yes. So instead of sending just the position and range, I'm gonna send all the data of the tower. Instead the tower tile. It's not the best class name either. And there, gonna check the tower position and the tower target position. And if that's less or equal to tower range, it should mean the currently acquired target for the tower is still in range. So I'm just gonna return back this target. and not bother with doing all the other stuff. Okay, so this should either do it or break it. Hello, hello, I mean Mr. Mustard again. Yeah, I've had a free weekend and as well as 2 days, so it's 3 days in a row, and mainly I enjoy working on this project, so I'm okay with that. And don't worry, you will have a break from me because I think the next stream, the soonest, could be on Friday, so there will be time to catch up for those that can't join. So yeah, this could either work and do what I thank you already, true fan. Thank you for the support. Let's try this. It's yeah, it really is. And when we are working on this, and you see it like shaping up, and while adding little features here and there, it sparks so many ideas in your head. Hey, we could add this and that, and it's really unraveling on in your head. How could it end up? And there are so many ideas now for this. Uh, I would also like to see uh, any of your opinions. And I mean, anyone who's watching, you can leave it down in the comments. If you're not here with me live, feel, feel free to leave a comment. Which features would you add? So let's test this targeting. Okay, it's not working at all. Perfect. And I think that's because the monster right, it's not set at all at the beginning, right? Wait. What is this? Yeah, we need to check for if the target is set. Currently we're working with null. So that's, I think that's why it's crashing. Mm. Something like that, maybe. I mean, let me do it like this. I think this should work also. Because it should end executing this when this is false, right? Let's try. And from the bigger things, next I would like to update, slightly redo the rewards. Rewards getting, requiring. I've called it a queue, and I was thinking, since we are already getting the like reward items, we could put it into a queue and execute it one by one. So let's try the targeting again. Okay, now it seems better, and then it again drops. But that's a progress. I think it's because this. The target died in the meantime, and the tower does not know that. So it's still targeting that, right? Where are we? Killing the monsters. There. No. I think it crashed right after it died, right? So I think it was again this. Right, because the target wasn't now, but actually it was. Hello, into game. Not sure what you mean. I mean, like doing those checks. That feel free to elaborate. I think I need to be setting this to now for everything to be properly working. And think I'm gonna skip this one for now. Just to check that everything's back as it was and working. And let's focus on the reward queue for now. I'm gonna push this back down the backlog. I'm gonna come back to it. Yeah, because when I was thinking about this, I forgot I'm clearing the target for those reasons. Okay, seems okay now. So let's try doing this rewards queue. So we are creating those reward options that are getting selected. And first of all, I wanted to try doing multiples as we've prepared the system to allow that. That's great. This should have like 3 walls in a package, but when receiving them, which is done in reward state, I believe, we are not handling them like we are just taking into account the last one. And instead of this, I want to employ the queue for rewards and process them one by one. So instead of having this counter, by having like 3 walls in a package, it should do the same. So it's creating the option with 3 walls, and this is again gonna be a bit tougher task. So instead of the reward count, I think I'm gonna put a I don't know, queue or list, or rather it's gonna be either a queue or forgot the name of the other one. Stack, I think, right? Queue or stack. It actually doesn't matter. We're gonna process all of them, and the order could have like effects on the game. So let's do a queue. It's gonna be queue of the thing that's are they are coming in. The player always selects one of the options, and when the option has like multiple items, it's gonna get all of these. So that's one option, one tower. That's the second option, 3 walls. And now I want to queue those 3 items and process them one by one. Because they can be different. It doesn't have to be like 3 times the same. It could be like 3 different things, and I need to handle them. Okay. So, what's it called? Is it reward item, I think? Let's do it public. I'm not sure if I need the access or not, but let's make it public. I initialize the queue. Okay. So now when I've got this, phew, it's gonna take what? There's the list of items. We're gonna put them into a queue. Now I'm thinking, do I need to like redo this into a queue? Can I do? Yeah, I kinda do. Or I could be sending the queue instead of list and just assign it. Where is this called? It's on reward selection inside the manager. Yeah, let's just transfer it into a queue now. It's okay. So it's there, right? To put a queue in a list, I'm not sure, but it should be possible. I'm just gonna do it manually, like GM rewards a queue, like so. So I'm gonna get rid of these. And now this state is just gonna accept the selection. And fill in the queue. So now here we have like all the items selected as rewards waiting to be processed. And now we have to make the processor. So here, instead of going straight into the placement state, because it doesn't make sense, since the reward can be something that doesn't have to be placed. Could be like, I don't know, learn a new spell or something like that. So I think I need a new state that's gonna process the reward queue. Okay. Okay. So we've got a list of states somewhere, right? Oh, again, forgot where it was. There. Um, I think I might leave out these state things inside the names. So that's a new state. I'm gonna add it there. Okay. Now, what it does. So first of all, we're gonna go to this new state, process rewards. And when we are here, so I think there's gonna be like big switch that's gonna process every type of the reward until I figure out something cleaner. So in that state we are drawing the map. Okay, we don't draw the reward manager because that's already been resolved. We already picked our rewards. And yeah, so if there are some rewards, and looking at this, I might want to delete the things that I don't want. So the current reward, I can delete. It's inside this queue now, and the count is also not needed. So if rewards, let's say, I don't know, count, there's something in a queue. I'm gonna take it out of the queue. This is gonna take the first reward from the queue. And now I have to like decide what to do with this. And I think here comes the big switch. Do it like this. Maybe. If there's nothing left in the queue, now is the time to switch the state to whatever think idle is the wait state for the start of the wave. So if we've processed all of the rewards, we commence a new wave, get ready to do it. So now, what do we do with the reward? What can we get from the reward? It has the ID. So I think for now I'm just gonna do a switch on the reward ID. Okay. Forgot to return. Yeah, that's what the switch is gonna do. It's gonna differentiate the type and act accordingly. So this is rewards. Let's see, tower. Now I forgot the correct syntax for a switch. I'm not using switches that much. I don't like them. But we Google it. Right. I think I'm correct. It just needs more stuff. And in a default case, let's do nothing. Bye. Yeah, thank you. Breaks. So, and there we should do the things we did there. Which were I think we were just doing the placement, right? Switching to placement state. And then we need the information, what to place. Okay, so I might have deleted something we need. So let me get this back. I think this is gonna need some reworking. It's getting like complicated or complex, entangled too much for my liking. Or I could just do something like current reward. Like this. And all I need to do is just switch the state, right? That's state manager, switch state, states placement, and this should do the trick. And how do I enter like more cases? Can I do or? Or do I need to like repeat? It's like so, I guess. They're actually doing the same, and I've got the ID there. But inside the placement state, okay, this I don't need, this I don't need. And instead of going into the idle, I need to get back to the process rewards, I guess. That's so. I think so. Handle selection, right? It's gonna update, wait for the tile, and then, right, yeah. And here we are having another switch, which I don't like, but okay. Okay, then that should be it, I guess. So over time, this is gonna go through the whole queue. And actually here, instead of doing nothing, just to be sure, I'm gonna should I like go straight into the idle thing, or oh no, it's all right like this. It's gonna look for the other rewards that it can recognize and eventually switch to the idle there, right? Yeah, so this should be safe. Okay, set everything okay. I mean, I deleted a few things. Is anyone missing anything? No. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, so don't forget to leave a like. That always helps and makes me happy. I'm glad for every comment that you can leave with feedback and new ideas. So please don't be shy. Comment, like, and stuff. So now we should see one of the options should be still one of the towers, and like so, 3 walls. And when I click on anywhere, now I should be able to place 3 walls. 1, perfect, like a charm. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Now we are ready to like create more complex rewards and options. Mix and match. Anyhow. So I'm gonna mark this as done. Finally, something gets done this time. And since we are dealing with rewards, tempting to make it prettier, but I don't have like any of the graphics ready, so I could just do like a brown border frame or stuff, but I'm gonna maybe leave that for another time when I've got the graphics ready. I think I'm gonna be preparing the graphics off stream, so we just ready for when we get to the code. So the next task is a wave system. We've got something working now. But what I wanted to do differently is well, first of all, we don't know the number of enemies that's coming in. Could be simply solve. Oh, we've got this in there. Okay, but this is filled in when we start the wave, and I should be able to know beforehand. Do I know that now? Here, I should be able to display this right now, right? So, be like just this. Okay, so it was easy. I forgot we've already done this. So that's great. So now we should see how many monsters will come next. Okay then. I don't remember what else I wanted to do with this. I mean, there's still the thing whether the monsters should spawn on a timer, or as it is now, they all spawn at once, but they are moved off screen and it takes time for them to get to the map. Okay, but there are definitely a few game-breaking bugs currently. Mainly if I build anywhere on a top row or the bottom row, I think it kills the game if a monster should spawn there, I think. Okay. Of course, they're gonna spawn elsewhere now. And now they are walking straight through. So I'm thinking I'm gonna disable the top and bottom rows as like places that can be built on, because they are strictly for monsters. They are like their starting points and end points. So this should be easy. That's somewhere in like map. I don't know, select. So I could just check for the indices of this selection and ignore it if it's like top row or bottom row. And now I'm thinking if I should just do it there or straight in the tile, the beginning. Like there. So all I care about is this map Y. Do something like if map Y equals to and now I'm not sure if it's X or Y. Is it X or Y? Should be Y. Okay. So if it's 0, it should be like the top row. Or like map size Y -1. I'm just gonna return. Ignore the tab so that those stars can't be selected. Let me just quickly try. And that's neither of these. Those are different problems. And I was also thinking about this, removing projectiles when the target dies. I think I'm not gonna do this since the target is fired and it's like effective to see it land where the previous monster was. I think it's okay. It would look strange if the projectile disappeared midair for reason. So now when building the towers, I shouldn't be able to build them here. Okay. It's okay. And there. Okay. So now it's not possible to build in the top and bottom rows. I mean, they will have a different texture later on to be clear to the player that they cannot build there. Gonna change the. Let me put it right in that one. Okay, so that's one of the problems. And what next? Prevent building in place state. Let me see. So if now we're in the idle state. If I press play, right, I can build 3 towers whenever while playing. So that's a big no-no. Let's see. That's because is this the map gets updated during the play state. But do we need to do this? I don't think so. I mean, the only reason we had this was showing the tower range, I believe, because we can tap on a tower to show its range. Not sure if that still works. No. Yeah. Okay. So we might want to keep this. Or I'm thinking, is it useful to show the range while the wave is ongoing? I mean, I'd rather see it like now, maybe. So I think I'm just gonna disable it for now. And this will also prevent the free tower building. So that's inside the play state. I'm just gonna not update the map. Okay, it might not be okay thinking now because it's disabling updating of the towers, right? But I think we've got the towers somewhere in a separate list. Inside the map. Towers. Okay. So I'm just gonna do another update just to update the towers. Something like this. Use this instead. So inside the play state, instead of updating the whole map, I'm just gonna update the towers. Like so. Okay. And this will keep the towers firing, but prevent like selecting the empty tiles to be placed towers. That's also a thing that I want to like redo. So now, okay, it's still doing this. Oh, I haven't rebuilt the game, right? But it would be cool if I could just change a few lines and it would be instantly, because it takes so long to build the app. Okay, and the other thing coming to my mind is the method to select the tile. This should just be like whenever I need to select a tile for whatever reason, I'm just getting the data and not placing the tower. So on tile selection, okay, now it's working. Okay, cool. That's like this done. So the tile selection thing, I mean, this would require a fair amount of refactoring, I believe, because currently it's used only in this placement state. And whenever a tile is selected, it fires this event, which is not optimal. I would rather like have it like a separate thing. So whenever I need to like select the tile, I will have that information and do whatever I want with that selected tile, because I think I need to select tiles for different reasons, not just placing a tower. For example, I don't know, deleting a tower, destroying. I'm gonna think about it later, since it's not a case for now. It's not blocking us for anything. And since we are dealing with bugs now, I might do the other one. This is gonna be a bug hunting episode. And it's this one. Because that's another problem. Once you block all the paths, there's not a valid one, the game will crash. Now they don't find a way and they just crash the game. That's also not that great. And it's also not the easiest bug to fix. I think I might need to like, when selecting a tile, I need to run the pathfinding and if it fails, it should ignore that tile selection. But I also need to like mark it for the pathfinding as blocked, then unblock it. Okay, so and we are back in the tile selection. That screams for rework. So that's inside the tile. But again, we can select the tile for whatever reason, not just to build a thing. So I don't want to like block it there, but only when I want to place a tower, which is like the placement state there. And that's in the handle selection. So before that, there should be like check valid placement. And we know like where. Okay, so the pathfinder. Who's got the instance of the pathfinder? Monster manager. Okay. So the monster manager has access to the pathfinder and also has luckily the map. So here inside the pathfinder, I should do like a method that verifies that there's still a valid path if I want to block a certain tile. Okay, so I'm starting to get the idea what needs to be done and where. So something like it's gonna return a bool value, true for yes you can place, and false. Try again. Let's just call it check placement validity. Okay, it's gonna need the tile that we want to check, so that's gonna be like y indices of a tile. And the path is not found, it returns null. Okay, so first I'm gonna set this tile as blocked. Which is done somehow. But how? Is the node map gonna get created? Create node map with every search. Okay. So I can just change the map temporarily. Okay, so let's do map tiles, I guess. X and Y. Block. No. And not to forget, I need to. I'm gonna deal with. Yeah. Okay. I need to unblock it in the end, since it's just for like the testing of the path, temporarily blocked. Then I need to run this search. So let's say I'm gonna store the value in a check if for the path, and I'm gonna run this. The starting vector is the pixel position. I think I can use 0, 1, doesn't matter. It should be like top left corner. And for the end, this could be like the map size Y. -1. And this should check the path from here to there. It should be enough since we are disabled building on those paths, so animals at any time can like travel there as well as the end. So it's okay to just check this one row, I guess. And now we're just gonna check the result. So, or I can just return back the blocked state. Now I'm just gonna check. So if check is null, meaning we couldn't find a valid path, I'm gonna return null, not null, or false. And I think I can just simplify this right into like this, right? So if the path is the it should be now. If there is a path from this to this tile, we're gonna verify that blocking this tile is possible. And if not, it's not. Okay. Should work. And we're gonna use this inside the placement. There. Provide the indices. And if and it's also inside the map, or okay, we have to provide a method. It was inside the Pathfinder, right? Okay. And the Pathfinder is inside a host manager for reasons. So we're gonna pull it from here. Okay. It's just gonna call the Pathfinder. And this we can use there. And so if not valid, gonna return and ignore this selection. So this should leave us still in a state where we are selecting, yeah, and we can like be picking tasks as long or until we find the valid one. Okay, so this should be it. Hopefully I haven't missed a lot. I believe it's okay. Put it on the list already, but let's see. Target 1 tower. Okay. It should be still okay. And now I shouldn't be able to build there. Let's see. Okay. So clicking here isn't placing a tower. Clicking here isn't valid also, but here it should be able. Okay. Perfect. And of course we could provide some feedback to the player that is doing something wrong. Like blinking red. Like this is not okay for you to place a tower there. Great, great. So it's working. That's most of the bugs fixed. Are there any more game-breaking bugs? I don't think so. I hope so. Clicking now. Yeah, let me know if you find any bugs. We can fix them next time. I don't know about any bugs right now, except for this, and that's not a bug. It's just change I wanted to make, but I need to think through this more. Okay, so the wave system, I don't recall fully what I meant by this, which is unfortunate. These are easy. So it seems like we need like now more monster types. And features that you guys need to come up with. So let me know in the comments what's the next feature we should add, how to improve the game or make it a game. Now I think I might add the number of monsters added with each option. We could at least center it, right? And it should dynamically center with the number of the options provided. So let's look into that now. It could be this. So it's inside the reward manager, right? In the draw. They are drawn based on this position. So I need to change the position of the reward options dynamically based on the number of them. So that could be done when adding new reward option. Do we have something like that? Oh, it's the option itself. So in the reward manager, add reward option. This should also edit the position. Oh, we've got the position hard coded there, right? So, nope. I need the constructor for the reward option as the position. The position shouldn't be private. And I don't want to set it in the constructor. It's gonna be dynamic. It's gonna be set afterwards anyway. I'm gonna delete this. It's gonna delete it from there. Okay. Is it not? Oh, it's from the factory. There. So now I can delete it. Okay. And instead of this, when adding the option, I'm gonna recalculate the positions of all of them. Okay. Something like this. I'm gonna do this after each reward option added. So, do I need? I think I'm gonna do this in 4 cycle. Oh, let's try with the for each. It's gonna go through the reward options. I need some kind of counter. Now setting the position. So for X is gonna be calculated and Y should be constant for now. Let's say, sure. And the X is gonna be something counted times something. So let's say tile size and some gap between the options. Let's say, I don't know, 50 pixels for now. Okay, I think the gap should be like also dynamic or just the padding. Okay, all right. I need also to calculate like the I'm struggling. Do I want them like evenly distributed along the screen, or should they have like a fixed gap between them, but to be centered on the screen, on the display? And I think I'm gonna do it like the second approach, and for that I just need to calculate the padding from the left side, and that's going to be dependent on the number of options. So see, count is options count. That's how many options there are. So I need to get the display width. So that's gonna be something like map size x times map tile size. That's the total width of the displayed area. Okay. I'm gonna add something I will call gap. That's the space needed for one or for each between each options. Let's say 50. I think I might just draw this. So let's say that's the display. And let's say we've got like 3 options. So I want them to be like 1, 2, that's bigger because it has like more items in it. 3, could be like smaller. So this gap is the 50 pixel gap between each of the options. And then I need to center this as a whole. So that's like, okay, it's not, I want it. It's 1, 2, 3, and it has 2 gaps. That's the total width. So I need to calculate the whole occupied width, which is like the number of options times tile size, and then n-1 times gaps. Okay. And then I'm just gonna subtract this from the total width and divide by 2. Okay. MS Paint, thank you. So let's say we've got the constant gap, that's 50. We need the count of the options. We've got that. We need the total width of the options. So let's say options width. And we said that's like the count times file size for now, plus count minus 1 times gap. That's our total width. And from that, we can calculate the padding from the left side. Let's call it padding. left, and that's like the total width minus width of the options as a whole divided by 2, right? Okay, so for the x I need this padding left plus this. Let's use the gap there, and that's some number. That's the y-axis. Okay, so this should do the trick. Okay, let's see. Almost. Okay. So we are stuck with the 0, 0. Yes. It feels like the active areas are correct. They are somewhere around. Oh. Ah. That's definitely not right. Okay, what have I missed? Guess we need to set the position for the items as well. They are set to 0. So here inside the reward option, when setting the position, the bounding rectangle is okay. But there, the item position is being set when adding the reward item, which is not correct. Okay. So let me do a method to set the position. And it's gonna set the position. I'm gonna make this private again since I've got the method. And we need to recalculate the position of each of the items. Or might be even better if each of the item has like the owner. That's the option, and takes the position from there. Well, let's just do it like this for now. Okay, we need to change the position for all the items. Ah, that's not great. But let's finish this. Okay. Not very happy about this, but I'm gonna rework this later. This needs to be like done differently. I'm gonna leave this for another day because I can potentially add the rewards after, but I don't know, that's in edge case. So let's just quickly do this, and gonna do it there. I need some counter. So for every item, the position is gonna be and it shouldn't be like this, right? Should be okay. So for the y-axis, should be like this. So the bundle position, and for each reward, it's gonna go down. That's okay. But for the x, should be like bundle position, and also for each of these. So counter times, and there's the little gap, which is 50. This needs to be reworked. I want to like add the owner of the reward item as the reward option and calculate the position based on the position of this first off, and yeah, that should do the trick. So I need to use this there, I guess. Should I do it right away? I think I should before I forget. So let's try this. I'm gonna add the owner. That's the reward option. I'm gonna call it the owner. Gonna set it via the constructor. And we will have to like override this draw method to change the position. Okay. So in the reward factory, get item. It needs the owner, right? Now it needs the there. Okay. Probably setting the position. Oh, right. That's when we add a option. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So when we add the option, it recalculates the positions for all of them. Okay, because we don't know potentially how many options there will be. Calculating the positions, we do this, that's okay. And for every reward option, we set the position, right? And when setting the position, we shouldn't have to do this, because that's just stupid. So we're setting the position of the option. Okay. And since setting the position, which should be public, so that the child items can access it. Okay. And now we just need to like adjust the items that has access to the owner now and its position, so we know where we should be. We just need to override the draw method. To not be this, but to actually take the position of the owner. Okay, but then we also need to know like the index number of the item from the bundle so that we can like spread them. That's not nice. We'll have to provide one more number. Well, I know index, so that's like item index. And we're gonna use the owner position. Plus up size index. index. Okay, now it's starting to feel like the previous approach was better. Just to go through the items and change their positions when changing the position of the owner. I think I'm gonna go back to the, like in here. Hello, hello. Hi. So let's go through this list. And just not overcomplicate things. And I'm gonna not need this, none of these. These, okay. And just calculate the position. Okay. So it's gonna be the same. Like the X is gonna be the position of the reward option. So that's just position X. And Y is gonna be position Y plus counter times file size, like this. And that's all, right? I hope so. Oh, got stuck on such a silly little thing for quite some time. Okay. It's centered. Doesn't feel centered. Or is it? It's definitely not, right? Since there are like just 2000, there are 3. And is this 500? I mean, that's 64 for 1, It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna reduce it to around like what 320. But the X alignment is not correct. But at least it's working now. So first, let's not sure where it reduce this to 320. Let's call it top gap. Why wasn't the X alignment correct? I wanted it centered. So we've got betting left. It's 8 times it is. Oh, that's correct. That's the total width of the display. Oh, I know. Or not. Since I'm stretching the canvas, are the calculations correct? Well, they should be, right? This is the virtual canvas total width. It's okay. Yeah, right, it should be okay. That's the total size of all the options. So that's current count of the options. So we've got like 2. That's 2 times this. That's okay. Plus 1 gap. That's 50. It seems also correct. Then I just subtract this. So that's the total free space. And I divide it by 2. So I want the even space on left and right. So all of this should be correct. So when setting the positions, it's the padding. The counter for the options starts at 0. So that should be all. Why isn't it centered? I don't get it. I mean, this should be evenly spaced, right? Why is it closer to the left side? Okay, that's a mystery. Line 38, tile size plus a gap, but that's okay. I think. Because the first option is 0. So that's like 0. So it should be just the padding left for the first one, right? So the only reason could be like this is too big. But it shouldn't be. Okay. Just check that the Y alignment changed properly and I don't have the axis mixed up. And other than that, it would only be like made a mistake in the items, maybe. There. Oh. Okay, so the y-axis is correct. The x is definitely not. So let's check this again. This is the reward option as a whole, okay, and it has its items, so are those squares. When setting the position, we set the position. That's for the whole package. Then we go through its items. That's those. But all I'm interested in for now is the X position. Seems okay. Let's set the mystery. I think I'm gonna just bug hunt this off stream, not to waste more time on this right now. I mean, it's visible, it's okay, it's doing its thing, it's just a little nudged to the left for some reasons that I don't understand right now. I'm missing something trivial, I believe. but I'm gonna fix this later again. I need to like redo the presentation anyway. I want some bigger frames around the options and with some instructions and stuff. So this is gonna be redone anyway. So it doesn't make sense to waste more time on this right now. It's gonna get solved eventually. So I think this is gonna be it for today. We've done mostly some bug hunting. I'm glad we got this done. That was a serious game crashing bug, so that's all right. The rewards queue is simple and working. That's also a big thing we've done today. I'm glad. It's gonna be really handy later. So just a few mishaps with the positioning happens. It's gonna get fixed, no worries. So thank you for staying with me today again. Leave a like, even though there weren't too many fancy things today to be shown, but we'll keep rolling. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.